Such a great intro song, is it not? Well, at least in my opinion it is. Anyway, yeah, we got another great morning going on. As mentioned in our previous episode, we do have a contract up and available for us, and that is fertilizing field number 3. We want to get right into that. What I didn't anticipate on is we don't have a broadcast spreader at all. We just have this little sprayer, which is fine for our little fields, but that's never going to work for doing, a few hundred acres. I don't have anything for that, so I'm going to have to go and purchase one. Because I believe we just have cultivators off to the right and a stone picker. We got a couple of balers, a rake, a tedder, and a forage wagon. Yeah, we really don't have anything to do any fertilizing. That's alright. Not like we didn't want to go shopping. As far as fertilizer spreaders go, let me have a look at what we got. What I honestly look at most is the width of the spread. So if I were to get, let's say, this little piggyback one, I know it would be quite heavy on some of our tractors. I would have to put a front weight in order to counterbalance this thing, because it's going to get quite heavy, I would imagine. So why don't we take a look at our tractors and see if any of them would have something to counterbalance, because I don't think many of ours have like a really big front weight. Like this one has a little front weight, this one has a wee bit of a front weight, and this one could have a front weight, but because we have a loader, therefore it doesn't have one. Not sure if it'd be worth our while to put one on or not. Or do we just go with something that we pull with sort of like a wagon and then get one of the smaller tractors to fertilize? That is the question. I guess if I were to pick, just looking at the spread width, I want to go for maximum spread width, so I guess it's going to have to be the green one. As much as I am not a fan of the green, it doesn't really make a difference in the end, honestly. We can choose narrow or regular. I think narrow is fine. License plate we can definitely change, because we know what we want. There we go. I'll finish this up and we'll take a look at it. I figure we would, just for the fun of it, put the old Farmall in front of it, our oldest one, and yeah, I gotta say that looks a wee bit oversized. Oh well, I needed to try it and see what it would look like. So I'm guessing if our next up, the one size bigger, if that one is keen for doing the fertilizing task, I'll put it to it. But we'll have to see if the hitch will accept it or not, because that one has the finicky hitch that doesn't hitch up to everything at all. So I'm going to send this guy off to work. He can drive by himself while we go and do some more important business. You, my friend, can head on over, right over here in this trajectory, and then we shall do some more business, because yes, we have a lot of things we need to accomplish today. The Farmall 560, this is the one I was talking about. This one is always a little finicky with its hitch because it doesn't have a drawbar. So if the 560 is able to do the fertilizing, we'll use that. If not, then if the old Farmall M is capable, we'll do that. Just kind of see how she goes. This fertilized spreader is good for about 42 meters, so I do know that it is quite the swath that it can do, but I've kind of forgotten since exactly how far that is. So we're going to give this a test run just to see what it looks like. There you go. It looks like the spread is a bit far off to one side, but it's okay. I think that will work out just fine. Now, with that fertilized spreader busy on field number 3 doing his thing, we get the enviable task of removing all these pallets of honey and stacking them up on the trailer. So this is going to be one of those where I could either do a montage of, you know, me stacking pallets and really sucking at it, and you guys having to watch the poorest forklift performance in the world, although sped up, or I could just tell you guys, don't worry, we'll see you guys when I'm all done stacking. And I think that is honestly the better choice here. I'll tell you guys what, instead of doing a montage, I just did the easy thing. And I went ahead and got one of these auto load curtain side trailers. And I went and loaded up the honey, I delivered it, and now I'm about to deliver the eggs as well. You know, I gotta say, I really like this trailer. It's really growing on me. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see the unloading process, because the camera kind of does crash. But you can sort of see it from here. Boxes are emptying out. So I'm thinking I should buy myself one of these trailers. They're not all that expensive, and they do a world of good, and they're so much easier than trying to load things up with a skid steer. And look at that, even the tarps, they want to close by themselves. The only amusing fact I see is that is a very, very tight turning radius. Unreal. But for some reason, when you take an overhead view and crank that wheel right short, it seems like those European engineers really knew what they were doing, because it barely shaves the cab, but you can get that turn and it doesn't clip. And having the axle so far forward also ensures you can get a nice tight turn. Like, look at that footprint for that trailer. That was very, very tight. So I'm all done with this. I believe I can return this back to the shop, and we can go and check how our fertilizing tractor is doing. I'm just coming into the view of our fertilizing tractor right now, and it does appear as though the ditch to my yard is being a bit of a nuisance to this unit here. But I would say they've only got one single pass left, and that should be it. Yeah, that contract will be all done, which is not bad. We've still got plenty of things to do. I did take a look at my yard and make sure that everything was in order. Pigs still have food, they still have bedding, health is at 100%, which is great. Now, all that being said, sorry guys, you guys will remember I got rid of this sheep barn because it just was not cooperating, and my sheep just weren't showing any health. So I did a bit of research on that, and it turns out that I had filled both of the feed cribs with hay when one of them should have been silage, the other one with hay. So that one was on me. I could return that barn now, or I could go and get a different one, which is what I was thinking. I was thinking, you know what, I found this other one that I wanted to try, and that is this one right here. Now, this is also a red barn, so you know, it looks kind of cool. I think it should work. It's definitely got a bigger footprint than the other one did, but I'm curious if this won't work. There goes my truck. No wonder I'm glitching so bad. And if I put the footprints somewhere, I guess we could have the tree in there. That shouldn't matter, should it? What if we had something like so? Would that not be pretty good? I think so. I don't think any triggers are going to hit. And at $50,000, that's exactly the same price as the other barn. There we go. Alright, let's jump out of the menu and let's take a look, see what we got. There we have it. So one thing I do see right away, the pasture is kind of going uphill. Interesting on the fence part. Not bad. You know, pastures do tend to grow in various terrains. That is all good like that, as long as the trigger points are going to work for us. I believe this is where we would pick up the wool once we have sheep in here. And yes, we got our feed cribs. We got lights up in here. Very nice. Yeah, so different feeds. I believe there's your water trough. A nice door to get into the pasture. Interesting. I don't think we should wait any longer. I think we should simply go and load this up with feed, and then we should go and buy some animals. Wouldn't you say? Hey now, would you look at that? Our fertilizer contract is all done. We can collect, and we will just as quickly accept this one as well. We will get this tractor straight over to field number 9, if I can remember where that is. Oh, that's right near our yard. Yes, sir. Well, we could actually go on a diagonal and we'd be there sooner. Perfect. I'm going to bring that one over to number 9. And yeah, let's continue on with doing what we were doing with the sheep. Getting that sheep barn ready. Alright, just taking a look at field number 9 for a second. These are some deep grooves. I'm going to say that is probably going to be potatoes, just based off of those grooves alone. But we'll let them do their thing. And we need to go over and see where we can get ourselves a bit of silage and a bit of hay, I believe we need for that barn. Now, question is, these bales here, are they hay or are they grass or are they silage? I could be using some of these for sure. That way I could get rid of them. This here is hay. And this here is hay. Fascinating. Alright, well, let me go get a dump truck of silage, and then we'll put a little bit in there, and let's see what we can do. With a nice big load of silage in the trailer and a bit of hay in the truck box, I would love to have the tarp over, but as you can see, that kind of does nothing, and you can't really shake that hay down, so I guess we'll have to pretend that the hay is not just all going to blow away like it would in real life. Funny when game graphics don't do what you'd wanted them to do. But field 9 there is coming along just nicely. That little Super M farmall there is really doing a good job with all the fertilizing. Very happy with that so far. I think that was the right choice to make. Now, the other thing that I've been wondering about is, do we just dump the feed in through this front door here? Or do we have to bring it to the silo? The silo would make sense. But I'm seeing the trigger point at the door and nothing here at the silo, which amuses me because the silo would make it that much more realistic, would it not? But that's okay. What we'll do, we're just going to dump a little bit of each in there because we've learned our lesson from the previous time. Alright. So let's give them just a little shot of it. Let's say that's enough. Just for now. And then we're going to back it on up till we get to the dump truck portion. Is that going to work, or are we going to have to unhook? Kind of fascinating how you can only dump off of... Oh, well, fascinating how dumb I am at times when I don't select the right truck or the right tool. We'll try this again. Now let's see if we can dump some hay in there. Look at that. Let's drop some hay in there. Oh, a little more. Well, I guess, should we maybe take a look and see what it looks like? Hop over the fence. I do see feed in here. And so, animals 0, health 0, but food is 7,800 liters. Now that we know we have both kinds in there, I think it won't hurt to dump more in. So that's, I think, what we'll end up doing here. Let's give them a little more hay here. Or say maybe about 50%. Yeah, it's close enough. And we'll do a little more silage, so our trailer's about 50%. And then we'll go and order some sheep in. And so the moment of truth. We've put in a bunch of silage, we put in a bunch of hay. It is time to go and order us some sheep. Obviously there's different prices. You got the 0 month and you got the 8 month. And I think we're going for the older ones now. Again, we'll do the same amount as we did last time. 5 of these. Thank you. And here again, select, purchase 5. Select, purchase 5. And one more time. There we go. 20 of them in here. Look at that. That is looking fantastic. They're running around having a good time. Very, very nice. Now my question is the water going to be automatic or is that something I'm going to have to fill in every time? It's a good question, but I'm sure we'll find out shortly. Just want to take a look at our menu and let's see what it looks like as far as how much feed they have. That should tell us a little bit. Oh wow, yeah, they got lots of room. I bet you we could dump that entire truckload and not have any issues at all. Just taking another look here at the tractor doing the fertilizer spreading, and yeah, there you go, 81% done it says. So I bet you one more pass after this and he's going to be all done. This has been a rather successful episode, I would say, as far as that's concerned. That is just wonderful. And we have the sheep back and we have them full of feed now, so that part's wonderful. Yeah, so far it's turning out all right. And just taking a look here real quick at our animal dialogue, and we got 50,000 liters. That's the total we can get in our food compartment for the barn. It doesn't ask for anything about water, and you can see hay is a little less than silage, but that's all right because it's still showing perfect effectiveness. So 50 and 50, that is wonderful. Pigs, as you can see, they could probably be fed again, which will happen rather shortly. And yeah, root crops really need to happen at some point. I may have to plant a field just with root crops and do it small scale just so I can give them a bit of potatoes or sugar beets or something. Chickens, we're still doing really, really good. Lots of grain, 43,000. No complaints there. Right on, and look at that. We are done that contract. Perfect timing. It is. With the potato here all done, hey, maybe we'll be able to do this harvest. Who knows? And then that would actually give us a little bit of you know, if we could do the potatoes on this farm, then that would actually give us the potatoes we need for our pigs. That would be wonderful. Who's to say? It just might happen for us. Now, with all that being said, I think that is a fantastic time for us to hang it on up for this episode. What I'll be doing in the meantime, I will be fertilizing, well, my grass field for one. If these fields here need some fertilizer, I will definitely give them a little bit of love too. And I will see you guys in the next episode. How does that sound? Till then, take care.